Bingo Blitz rules.
If your bingo has ads in it,
That's not a bingo.
if it doesn't have the coolest tournaments, mini games, and the most breathtaking design,
Nope, not a bingo.
if your bingo moment makes you feel so excited that you just want to burst in joy and scream out loud, bingo! Sorry, so you're playing...
Bingo Blitz? Now that's a bingo. Go for a world of excitement with Bingo Blitz, the #1 free bingo game. Download Bingo Blitz and play for free.
Now that's a bingo.
Hi, I'm Jennifer, a co-founder of the Go Kid Go network. At Go Kid Go, putting kids first is at the heart of every show that we produce. That's why we're so excited to introduce a brand new show to our network called The Search for the Silver Lining, a fantasy adventure series about a spirited young girl named Isla who time travels to the mythical land of Camelot. During her journey, Isla meets new friends, including King Arthur and his Knights of the Round Table, and learns valuable life lessons with every quest, sword fight, and dragon ride. Positive and uplifting stories remind us all about the importance of kindness, friendship, honesty, and positivity. Join me and an all-star cast of actors including Liam Neeson, Emily Blunt, Kristen Bell, Chris Hemsworth, among many others, in welcoming the Search for the Silver Lining podcast to the Go Kid Go network by listening today. Look for the Search for the Silver Lining on Spotify, Apple, or wherever you get your podcasts.
With something like 5 million podcasts, finding a really good one can take a ton of time. So let me recommend one. It's called Something You Should Know. I'm the host, Mike Carruthers, and in each episode, we discuss topics that can be really helpful, like how to read people better, the psychology of crowds, or fun things like the story of Legos, or why you probably wouldn't be here if it weren't for horses. Something You Should Know is the name of it, wherever you get your podcasts.
Hello.
Hello. Welcome to another episode of But Am I Wrong? Starring two people who have not once ever in their lives ever been wrong.
I'm trying to make my eyes look more open.
We did not. We did a whole podcast like this. Melissa and I have been you've got so much white in your eyes. Look, no matter what.
It's just when we're recording, there's just nothing. I don't know why. When I look back at the edits, I'm like,
open your eyes, bitch.
Yes. I'm awake.
I don't know why. Yeah, so I'm not. I'm here in body. I'm not here in mind, nor am I here in spirit. So it's going to be a roller coaster of emotion in this episode, where we've got lots of different segments. We'll get into each of them before we actually get into each of them. That's a sentence that made sense. Mm-hmm. But you should just know that all you really need to know for this is that we're never wrong. And the quicker you learn that, the better.
It would help so many people.
It really would. So, do you remember, I guess we can get into we should introduce ourselves. My name is Meghan.
And I'm Melissa. And together we create
art. We create your favorite podcasts. It's a burden that we carry, but someone's got to do it. Someone's going to do that heavy lifting. Someone's got to carry that load. So, our first segment, well, actually, before we get into all of it, you should know that one of the best parts of this podcast is you get to vote who you think is wrong in each segment over on our Instagram stories. And then we read the results of those on our Friday episodes called Fisting Friday. Don't ask why we named it that. If you're new here, it is solely just because we made it once as a joke and now it's stuck. So
unlike
think ahead,
the fist.
Kids. Exactly. The fist comes in and out real quick, only on Fridays.
We stay lubed up.
We stay primed, ready. We stay in alert. So yeah. Do you remember who went first last time?
Yeah, me. But speaking of, my niece and nephew said, we found you on Google. And I said, no, don't Google me.
You said, and they said, close the laptop.
We know now.
We know about you, you nasty.
No, they're like, we know now not to look.
We learned the hard way, Auntie. Yeah. Our bad. That's on us. Yeah. We won't do it again. We should have listened. Mm-hmm. And you're like, and that's a life lesson, little ones.
Yep. All right. I went first last time, so you're up.
Great. Let's see what I wrote down.
So our first segment is called But Am I Wrong? And that's when we get into something from our own personal lives that we may have been wrong about, or a hot take.
This is my lukewarm take, I think. If it's a hot take, I would love to hear why people are opposed to this. We need to bring back the Instagram like page where you can see what the people who you are following, what they have liked. Because when I think I've told you this offline, when I tell you the jump scare of a lifetime that I had, which it wasn't even a jump scare because like I knew it was coming, that I was on a news post and it was a horrific headline and not something that anyone should agree with. And I saw someone I know was like, and I was like, good God. So I when we come across those in the wild, it's very jarring. And you know, sometimes when you have to get a confirmation, you suddenly have to be like looking through like the Babylon Bee, and you go, if I'm having to look through this feed to see who has liked what, you already know you're in for a bad time. But also bring it back, make it easier. Don't let these people don't let it skate by so easy. Don't make me have to put in all of this legwork. Like, let me know.
I thoroughly enjoyed the like page. I feel like it was here and there so fast, and it was a great time when it existed. I remember all the women that Michael B. Jordan was liking. I knew when he was online.
Yep. I was tracking that man's every move from that page. I was watching my shots just fly out the window, but you know, at least I knew my competition.
He was like, short, thick girls. I'm like, I'm in there.
And here I was going, well, I can just keep hoping. Praying for a scrawny white girl amongst them. And he's like, not once ever. And I'm like, okay, stay strong, Megan. Like, it was helpful.
I know.
And why'd they get rid of it? Who are we protecting?
We shouldn't be protecting anyone. If you don't, in the same way where I love when I'm on TikTok and just randomly scrolling and see somebody that I know has commented on something, I love it. I want to see, because Instagram doesn't give me the same, because I'm not just scrolling. Instagram for me is for people I know, and TikTok is for people I don't know. And
there was a TikTok for some reason, I can't remember what it was, but Mons and I were like dying at it. We looked at the comment and you were like, yours just popped right up, and we were both dying. I need to ask him when he comes back upstairs if he remembers which one it was. Because he was like, of course. And I was like, of course. It could have been a cruise one.
Great.
I'm unsure though.
Yeah, I don't think I've commented a lot about the cruise stuff yet.
It's coming.
I love, I want to get to know people before I, because I feel like there's going to be some shocks. We got 9 months. There's going to be some shocks, and I don't want my comments on somebody's page when we come out. On the wrong side
of her story.
Yeah. But I would like to know, because I don't want all of a sudden somebody pops up with a video with somebody else that's quite controversial, somebody that I liked very much.
Yeah.
And then I'm thrown for a loop.
Disappointed was the word that I responded when you said thoughts.
Yeah.
I just said disappointment.
That is also what Allison said too.
Yeah. So I'm just like, I just want to know who paid what amount of money to remove this feature, because like the feature benefited so many and only harmed a select handful. Because I'm also like, you're already publicly liking on your goddamn fucking public account. Like, what do you mean you want it to be like more secretive? I just think that we as a society, we as women, we as humans deserve the like page back. Bring it back. Bring it back.
I specifically wanted it last week. We were on the same page.
Yep. Same fucking page. So that is my take. If anyone knows why it's gone, anyone has any insight, we'll keep you anonymous. Let us know.
Maybe somebody at Instagram got in trouble with
That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah. I'm sorry, I forgot to take my gummy vitamins like a child. Okay.
Your focus ones?
And this one's for active immunity.
Oh, yeah. Because right now the immunity has been pretty inactive. Mm-hmm. Dormant immunity.
Mm-hmm. All right. Mine, it's a hot take, but I don't think
hot take.
Yeah. I was still swallowing and going. It was just in my throat.
Like, damn, is this really hot or not that hot?
I don't think it's hot for us, but or our audience, but I think other people think it is. So mine is Tesla needs to be stopped.
I wholeheartedly agree. These are toys. These are actually supposed to be cars, my man, not toys.
So, a Tesla factory robot reportedly attacked a worker and left them bleeding.
Do you know why? Not to victim blame, but do you think they've been saying thank you?
Probably not. So, it happened in 2021, but for some reason, we're just now hearing about it. It's just now getting to the news. A witness allegedly observed the robot at the Giga Texas factory pin an engineer down and claw him at his back and his arms, and it caused a trail of blood on the factory floor.
That's a horror film.
Yes. The engineer was able to break free from assembly after a robot colleague pressed the emergency stop button. So if someone hadn't been around.
No. It was a different robot colleague?
Yeah, like somebody that works in assembly with the robot. Like a
I
real
thought
person.
It was another
or an actual robot. That would be terrifying.
Like, it was Bumblebee being like, gotta turn on Megatron. Wow.
Yeah. So when the person was released from the clutches of this robot, they reportedly tumbled a few feet down a chute intended for collecting scrap aluminum.
This is Final Destination.
There was also an open wound on their left hand. The robot was designed to handle freshly cast aluminum car parts. And according to reports, Tesla said the engineer's injuries did not require him to take any time off of work.
I'm shocked.
Elon Musk has said that it's getting blown out of proportion and doesn't understand why somebody dug up a story from 2 years ago. And my question is, why wasn't this in the news 2 years ago? On top of this, there's been so many Tesla controversies. In 2021, 7 women came forward and claimed that they had faced sexual harassment and discrimination at the Fremont factory. And then in 2022, a California judge ruled that sexual harassment lawsuit could move to court, rejecting Tesla's request to a closed-door arbitration. In 2016, the National Highway and Traffic Administration took issue with Tesla's use of NDAs regarding customer repairs. And in October 2021, they formally asked Tesla to explain its NDA policy. And the reason why they have NDAs is so that they can't report things that are happening, like malfunctions in the car and things like that.
Well, if anyone has any questions about how well Teslas are functioning, might I encourage you to go to the drive just by the Tesla repair shop in
There's so many cars.
Melissa, I drove by with Mazda's parents and they were like, "Oh, is that
which one were you
the
at?
Tesla dealership? It's by IKEA."
Okay, there's one in Culver City too that there's so many cars at too.
So, but this is like, it's IKEA. It's far away from LA. And so they were like, "Oh my God, there's a Tesla dealership here." And I was like, "No, guys, those are the repairs. They're overflowing onto the street."
Same with the one in Culver City.
So bad.
Yeah.
I'm like, it's the worst PR ever. And they have so much like Tesla flags, Tesla branding, like so much. And I'm like, you're literally just advertising the fact that like all of these cars are broken.
Yep. In 2019, a former Tesla security manager filed a whistleblower complaint alleging that the company had hacked employees' phones and spied on them.
Casual.
In September 2019, a judge ruled that 12 actions in 2017 and 2018 by Musk and other Tesla executives violated labor laws because they sabotaged employees' attempts to unionize. The U.S. National Labor Relations Board ordered Musk to remove a tweet and reinstate a fired employee over union organization activities. The California Civil Rights Department filed a suit in 2022 alleging a pattern of racial harassment and biases. A former Black worker described the work environment at Tesla's Buffalo plant as very racist place. They had something weird that happened on Juneteenth in 2020 that approximately 100 former employees have submitted signed statements alleging that Tesla discriminates specifically against Black people. And I can't find what this Juneteenth incident was.
Seems like they're trying to keep it quiet.
Well, we'll hear about it in 2 years.
Yeah.
Also, this man won $1 million in his discrimination case against Tesla. And then also Tesla, like during COVID, they were criticized because Musk had sought to exempt the Tesla Fremont factory from government stay-at-home orders and urged people to go to work. And in an earnings call in April, he was heard calling the public health orders fascist. So that's just a few of the reasons. There's so many more. You can Google it, but stop. Don't support Tesla. They need to be stopped.
Yeah. And they're not good cars.
No.
Point blank. Like, if they were good cars and you're like, separate the art from the artist is bad and the art is bad.
Mm-hmm. Follow any detailer on TikTok. They'll tell you how shitty Teslas are.
Mm-hmm. I saw a thread of someone who was like talking about on Twitter about how like there was like some like issue with theirs, and they were like talking to like the repair people at Tesla, and they were like, you know, we haven't been around as long as like Honda and Toyota and all those places. We're still ironing out the kinks, and you're here with us on our first voyage. And the guy was like, I don't want that. Like that is like, you're not instilling like support and like comfort and security in your customer base by saying things like that.
Not at all. And cars have been around for years. If you can't improve on what already exists, then you shouldn't be making cars.
Just don't do it.
Mm-hmm.
We'll be fine. We don't need it. Well, you're not wrong. I wholeheartedly agree with you. And I do think it's a great time to remind everyone, this is a fact that I recently learned, that the little boy from Love Actually is married to Elon Musk's ex-wife. I thought he was married to his daughter. No, ex-wife.
Well, that's not a reminder to me. That is new information.
It's brand new information. I like knew he was married to someone that it was like related to it, and I looked it up and I was like, oh shit. So
how old is she?
I don't know, but that little boy was a lot little. Like, he and Keira Knightley were closer in age than Keira Knightley was to most of the other cast.
Oh.
He was a petite boy.
Okay.
I think he was like 13 in that or something.
Which ex-wife?
I don't know.
Tallulah,
how many are there?
Or Justine? Tallulah and him were married twice.
Oh, that's embarrassing.
Oh, she's 38. Okay.
He's 33.
Who's Brody?
Thomas Brody Sangster.
Uh-huh. Yep. Okay, well, that's all I got for this segment. We're going to take a break, and when we get back, we'll get into But Are You Wrong?
As a podcast network, our first priority has always been audio and the stories we're able to share with you. But at Realm, we also sell some pretty cool merch, and organizing that was made both possible and easy with Shopify. When you think about successful businesses like Aloe or Allbirds or Skims, an often overlooked secret is the business behind the business that makes selling and, for shoppers, buying simple. For millions of businesses, that business is Shopify. That's because nobody does selling better than Shopify. It's the home of the #1 checkout on the planet. And the not-so-secret secret that's definitely worth talking about is that Shop Pay boosts conversions up to 50%. That's more happy customers and way more sales going. If you're hoping to grow your business, your commerce platform better be ready to sell wherever your customers are scrolling or strolling, on the web, in your store, in their feed, and everywhere in between. Businesses that sell more, sell on Shopify. Upgrade your business and get the same checkout we use with Shopify. Sign up for your $1 per month trial period at shopify.com/realm, all lowercase. Go to shopify.com/realm to upgrade your selling today. Shopify.com/realm.
Back and it's time for But Are You Wrong? This is where we read your submissions, which you send into butamiwrongpod@gmail.com, and you tell us about a circumstance or situation that's weighing on you, that you're wondering if you were the hero or the villain, if you were wrong, if you will be wrong, if you would be wrong. So, you know, all the different tenses of that, and we rule with our sparkly little gavels, and we tell you. So, first up, hi Eminem, love y'all and thanks. Oh, keep it under 300 words, and it's all anonymous. So if it's like involves a lot of other people, use fake names. And yeah, Hi, M&M. Love y'all and thanks for always giving me something to listen to while I get ready. You're welcome. I'm a bartender at a really nice bar, and one of my regulars who I've known for a little over a year wants to buy me a matching Van Cleef bracelet and necklace set for Christmas. While this is obviously very, very generous, I simply don't need such extravagant gifts. I've told him many times that while I appreciate it, he really doesn't need to, but he insists and showed me yesterday that he's already purchased a set. I've been having car trouble lately. Cost of living is high where I am, and my heart medicine isn't covered by insurance, so that's like $400 a month on top of regular bills, etc., etc. My finances are pretty tight, and while I'm very blessed to have it handled, I budget well and I'm good about making investments for my future. There are just other things that would help me more and be more meaningful than designer items. Wearing such expensive things while knowing I have other financial stuff that needs to be taken care of would feel so wrong. Would I be wrong if I sold the jewelry and used the money to purchase a good replica to wear around him and use the rest towards trading in for a more reliable car instead? You would not be wrong at all. Literally, I was about to say, buy a freaking replica and then do your thing. Also, stop resisting expensive gifts from people who want to buy you expensive gifts. You say, no, you really don't need to do that one time. And then the next time you just laugh it off.
Yeah, I love this for you.
Me too.
It's already passed, so I
Show
hope
us
that
pics.
send us pics. Hope you get a great money for this. And I wholeheartedly stand by this. The only thing, make sure you get the warranty from him too.
Yeah.
If he didn't give it to you already, make sure you get the warranty on it just so that you specifically have it so you can use it and get it more money when you go sell it. But take it.
This might be the hottest take in the world. I think Van Cleef is so ugly. It is just the idea of that it would cost that much. And it's not even like, sometimes they'll have diamonds in it. But I'm like, if it's going to cost that much, like I need diamond. Like I need some stones, not just a little like gold.
Yeah.
So I'm glad that he's giving you something that is so easily replicable, because like if he gave me like a diamond tennis necklace, that would actually be very hard to part with.
Yeah.
Like you'd be like, fuck, I want to keep this. And Van Cleef, it's like Cartier. Like there's a dime a dozen in the replica market. So I'm excited for you. Send pics.
Yeah.
What kind of car are you going to get?
Get a couple replicas just so you have the exact same one, so then when he sees it, in case it tarnishes or something.
Facts.
But good for you.
Yeah, good for you.
All right, next one. Hi, Eminem. I know you two wonderful women have different backgrounds when it comes to religion, so I need your advice.
I don't know what they're talking about.
My best friend, 24, she, her, has been with her fiance, 30, he, him, for 2 years, and they got engaged this summer. He is very religious and she is not. Throughout their relationship, she has started to attend church with him, though still not really feeling like she identifies with it herself. She's always been open and honest with me about her feelings on this topic, so I tried to push her to be honest with him as well. Well, things came to a head when, after asking his pastor to officiate their wedding, he told her she essentially needs to identify with his religion by their wedding next fall, and she'll need to move out of their apartment to abstain from any ungodly activities. And she has a month to decide if this is something she wants to do. Throughout their relationship, she was consistently questioning him on what happens if she was never able to fully identify with his beliefs, and he has always said it wouldn't be a deal breaker. As her best friend, I don't want to see her pushed into something that she has communicated over and over again to me that she isn't ready for and isn't even sure if she wants, and sort of holding her accountable to everything she said to me about what she wants. I don't know what to do.
I mean, I wouldn't think you would be wrong for bringing this like up to her, but I can't imagine that she's also not thinking the same things you're thinking.
This should have been something that was handled a long time ago.
Well, he lied. He said it wasn't a deal breaker for him.
For him, but it is, I mean, it still might not be like a deal breaker, but like, would he be okay to be married by somebody else? That would be the deal break, like the actual deal breaker part. He can have anyone do this. He could have the friend get officiated and do this. They don't have to be married by the minister.
Yeah.
So that is what I would say is, would he be open to being married by someone else? And then after that reaction, that would be.
Yeah. Like, did that come from the pastor? Or did that come from him?
That would have come from a pastor, I think.
Yeah, but he was like, okay, like,
Yeah.
fine. I mean, point blank, I think like religious differences, like active practicing religious differences are like it is a deal breaker. And I say this as someone who like is not religious, that I would, if I was dating someone who was religious, I would know that like it is a deal breaker for me as well. And I think like we kind of just view it as like, oh, the person who's an active participant in religion, it's if it's a deal breaker for them or not. Because on the other side of it, if you're an atheist or you're agnostic, it can be like, oh, well, you're not being tolerant of someone else's, you know, religion in that sense. And that if it's your deal breaker and if they're fine with it, but you have to like, you know, if people want to have kids later on in life, but religion is such a huge part of people's like core life and belief system that like, that's not something that I think, you know, you would have to, if you have two different faiths, like, if you have kids, are those kids like, what do you want them to learn? What do you want them to believe in? All, even if you're not going to have kids, I just think that it's pretty unrealistic to be like, oh, it's not a deal breaker, but then you're also asked to participate in religious aspect. Like if it wouldn't be a deal breaker, then the default would be no religion, not your religion.
Yeah. Yep.
You know?
Agree. Because, you know, I have things that I would prefer. Like, I would prefer to be someone that, like, with someone that believes in God, but, like, not churchy. It's very specific.
Yeah. And that's fair.
Yeah.
And thankfully, there's a lot of people in LA like that.
Yes, there are.
big LA vibe. But yeah, it's like, I don't think that you would be wrong for, like, bringing it up. I think you would be wrong if you like didn't say anything and just like silently supported it, because I think religion is a really touchy subject, and you always you're always afraid of being offensive to other people's like religions without being like, this is her life too. So I think like being that voice of reason and being like, you know, you can just say no to this. Like this is like not cool. I think if I was in her shoes, I would feel really appreciative of like my friend just shooting it to me straight.
Yes. And then also I would say this seems like a very conservative church too.
Yeah.
So I don't know if it's even an option where they could maybe go to visit like a more liberal church and they would have more relaxed. They wouldn't care about your living situation at all. So like he may like find a minister, like it can still be someone that's a religious minister, but they don't care about you abstaining.
Yeah. I think it's like you also have to figure out if it's is her partner talking through the pastor. Like, is it like, oh, I'm not going to be the bad guy. Like he's going to set these things. But if he's not, I think it's on him to like lead the charge of being like, oh, this is not going to work for us because he's the one who wants to incorporate religion. But also, yeah, I think like he's just defaulting to we have to incorporate his religion. And that to me sounds like it is a deal breaker.
Yeah.
To not.
Yeah.
So
maybe find a non-denominational church and it'll be better. If he still like wants a relationship with God and then it's not clicking for her, maybe going to a different type of church might help if she is willing to do that. But if not, this might not be the right place to be.
Yeah. Well, best of luck to your friend and best of luck to you. This is a stressful situation to be in as a friend as well. Shall we take a quick break before we get into our final segment?
Oh, yeah, baby.
Hi, I'm Jennifer, a founder of the Go Kid Go network. At Go Kid Go, putting kids first is at the heart of every show that we produce. That's why we're so excited to introduce a brand new show to our network called The Search for the Silver Lining, a fantasy adventure series about a spirited young girl named Isla who time travels to the mythical land of Camelot. Look for The Search for the Silver Lining on Spotify, Apple, or wherever you get your podcasts.
From our break, and it's time for our final segment, But Are They Wrong? AKA Woad of the Week, AKA Rachel of the Week, where we nominate the worst of the week, the worst of any specific time period, and we publicly shame them, we talk shit, and we all say boo, 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 tomato, tomato, tomato. And I would like to nominate something that I've wanted to talk about for so fucking long, and I've talked about it offline with so many people. I'm nominating Panera. Fuck you, Panera.
Yeah.
Fuck you, Panera. So if anyone has missed this, Panera has this thing called Panera Charged Lemonade, which has not been accurately depicted or advertised as being an insane amount of caffeine. And they also released it at the same time that they released these like Panera rewards, something along the lines of free refills. So it is a self-serve drink with free refills that people are not being told how much caffeine is in it, because also lemonade is not something that typically has caffeine in it. So it is horrible. And it is advertised Charged Lemonade as plant-based and clean with, and then it in smaller print. And if you have to go online, which some people only found this online because they were diabetic and were trying to see how much sugar was in it. So even like the sugar initially wasn't advertised as it is in a lot of their other drinks. And they had to go online and were like, oh, thank God I looked at this and saw this. It's got 390 milligrams of caffeine, and a 30 fluid ounce Charged Lemonade has more caffeine in total than any size of Panera's dark roast coffee. And the large cup contains more caffeine than content of a standard can of Red Bull, Monster Energy drinks combined, plus the equivalent of nearly 30 teaspoons of sugar. And the FDA says healthy adults can safely consume 400 milligrams of caffeine a day. But let's remember, this drink, 390. And it's not advertised. So 2 people have died, like straight up just died from this. One girl had a pre-existing heart condition and would not have drank this if she had known that this was what the contents were. And another one was a man named Dennis Brown, who it hasn't been, I don't think it's been officially released, but had an unspecified chromosomal deficiency disorder, a developmental delay, and a mild intellectual disability. He lived independently, frequently stopping at Panera after his shifts at the supermarket. Because he had high blood pressure, he did not consume energy drinks. So again, like, this is not being advertised or marketed as an energy drink in store. And that is the cause of death. And it is just horrific and awful. And I hate them. And the position of them in the store is, again, self-serve next to other things that do not contain caffeine. And I know that, like, I frequented Panera when I was in college, and, like, this would have been something that you would have no idea. And there are people who are on TikTok who are like, oh my God, I love these drinks. And people are like, hey girl, have you looked at the ingredients? Because, like, you are talking a lot faster than normal. And they were like talking like this and like that, and they didn't even realize that they had been consuming all of this. And a lot of people were drinking this regularly, who then suddenly became incredibly dependent on a super, super, super fucking high amount of caffeine with people who don't drink caffeine in their normal lives. Like, the aspect of, like, consumption consent, of, like, knowing what you're consuming, knowing what you're drinking, knowing what you're taking. And the fact that, like, we trust big, especially, like, we trust, like, big chain restaurants and things like this. Like, you think of, like, there's all these regulations and all of these things to follow. Well, no, of course, I'm not going to, like, have something sketchy, have something bad. And it reminds me a lot of, like, the natural stimulants or the certain one that they sell at gas stations, which, like, people have found are, like, essentially like synthetic heroin and all of these things. Like, we put all of this trust in corporations while we also put, like, we hate big pharma, which, again, that's, like, a fine thing to, like, be questioning a lot of things about pharmaceutical companies. But we then put our trust in, like, capitalism and, like, these other companies that they're fucking everyone else over. And, like, I just think that Panera is, like, royally fucked up. And the fact that they haven't pulled this from shelves immediately, because regardless of you change the signage and if it becomes like a McDonald's lawsuit where they now have to, like, heat it to a certain temperature and they have to say caution hot on the cups or whatever that is, nobody needs this amount of caffeine, let alone this amount of caffeine self-serve. And in good conscience, this should not be allowed. It's so unnecessary. Caffeine's like it's a drug. Like, it is something that, like, you get addicted to and you need. And when you're withdrawing from it, like, you have symptoms. And I think it's, like, such a clear depiction of corporate greed at the expense of, like, legitimately people's lives. And I don't currently eat at Panera, but if anyone does, like, I would be fully boycotting, like, consuming anything there, just because to put your consumers' lives at risk and then to not pull the thing off of shelves that has been doing that said thing, like, you had to have predicted that this was going to happen. There's really no other outcome. Like, what the fuck else would you think this would be? The best case scenario is you just get a bunch of people addicted to insanely high amounts of caffeine, which is also, like, unethical as fuck. So fuck Panera, fuck Panera. And there's wonderful recipes on Pinterest for, like, Panera dupes if you want some broccoli cheddar soup or something like that.
Yeah, I wholeheartedly agree with you.
And as somebody whose heart would probably stop, like that freaks me the fuck out.
Yeah. All right. Mine is, and I may be mispronouncing this person's name, but their name is Neusha, Neusha, Alexandra, Afkami, Afkami. She's 27 and she was riding in an Uber and was mad that the driver wasn't going as fast as she wanted them to go. So she took their phone and tossed it out the window.
That's going to slow you down real fast.
Yeah. And when he got out to get his phone, she jumped into the driver's seat and stole his car.
What were we running from?
She was going to the airport, so who knows?
I was almost made a joke. Was she going to the airport?
She was going to the airport.
My guesses are LAX, Houston, Atlanta, Denver, Chicago.
You're in the right vicinity, Austin.
Oh, okay. I've never been to that airport. All those other ones I've been to, and like there are huge and stressful airports.
So, he was driving a 2016 Chevy Cruze. Officers located her at the airport attempting to board a flight. She was found in possession of the victim's wallet, which she had put her Chase Visa card in.
Okay.
She had his card on her, as well as a credit card. There was also a receipt that showed that she had used the card at the airport to shop and purchase half a pound bag of cactus candy and several other items totaling $130.
So she had time before her flight.
She did.
Good God.
She's been charged with unauthorized use of motor vehicle, state felony, a state jail felony. She got credit card abuse and state jail felony. She was booked in the Travis County Jail under a $16,000 bond. She claimed that she felt like she was being kidnapped, but officers noted that she did not call 911.
So do you know if this was like for the holidays?
It was a couple weeks ago. It was before the holidays.
Because I'm just like imagining like you're
December
stressing,
10th.
you're texting your friend. Because I think if like the amount of times like I've been in the back of an Uber and I'm like, I'm not going to make this flight. This person's driving so fucking slow. And like I'm texting Mott's an update. And then he's like, are you going to make your flight? Are you going to make your flight? And like, you're like, I'm running through. Oh my God, I had time. I picked up candy. And then I'd be like, psych, I'm actually not going to be able to make it. I've been booked. And he was like, on a job. And I go, no, in jail. Like, man, like that's like, oh, so you rushed so fast, so far, so quickly. You ended up in a worse position than where you started. It's a little crazy.
Just a little bit. Just a little bit. So that's my worst of the week.
I love that. You will also note, everybody, we are not nominating Simone Biles' husband because I actually don't know that man's name.
Simone Biles' husband.
I know, nor do I know what he does. And so it just feels like, you know, Simone Biles has so much going on in her life, and like her husband is who?
I only know that he plays football because she was on the sidelines one game and had a custom jet. A fan of whatever team he plays for, brought her a customized jacket.
A fan of Simone Biles brought her a custom jacket.
Yes.
Because I don't think he's ever gotten off the bench. And by the way, I asked Mott's, I said, and I looked up his name and I said, do you know who this is? And he goes, no. And I go, he plays for the NFL. And he goes, no, he doesn't. I was like, he does. What team? And I'm like, no, he does. And I tell him, he goes, that man does not play for the NFL. And I said, that's Simone Biles' husband. He looks him up and he goes, he does not play. He sits on the bench. And like, there are times where there have been like Bachelor contestants who I've been like, it'll say like pro like football player or like X. And I'll ask Mott's, and like the vast majority of them, he'll be like, no. And a couple of them, he'll be like, yeah, no, I know who that is. And he had no idea who this man was. He looked him up and he was like, I don't believe you. That's how you know this man does not play for the NFL. He warms the bench for the NFL.
Ladies, don't let a man's light shine you. Just be like Olympia's dad. Be like Oprah's partner. Be like
Margot Robbie's husband.
Yeah, Dolly Parton's husband, who never shows his face. We haven't seen that man.
We don't know.
No, we saw a picture of
He
them
could be
one
walking down the
time
street
when
and
they
I
were
wouldn't
young.
know a thing. Sorry to that man. Like, there are so many people. Kamala's husband, the first husband. Like, come on, ride your ticket.
Right.
That's high-key worse to me than someone who's like a gold digger. Like someone who's like, no. I want to get the fucking star on top of the tree. I want to get the prize and then I want to make that prize feel so shitty about themselves that I become the prize. Like, I'm like, I'd rather you just be asking me for my money then.
Did you see Sprinkle's response to it?
No, but
I will send it to you.
So good.
The thing is, I never know if her videos are old or new because she used the shittiest camera. But also, people are recording it from her YouTube, so it's already bad.
Well, her YouTube quality is not good, first and foremost.
So sometimes I'm like, this video could be 20 years old.
And what she says is timeless.
Yes.
It applies to every situation.
And so when this popped up, I was like, oh, so she's like active like this.
We're talking about current events. Yeah. Okay. No, I haven't seen it. That's fucking funny, though.
She has two different people asked her about it on her live stream. And she has two different responses that are both iconic.
Have you seen where people are like, holy shit, I didn't know how hard white girl stood for, like, someone Biles. Like, we've already moved on from this, and they're all here just making TikToks dragging.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, yeah. Like, it's just so offensive.
Yeah. And listeners know that we've always been a fan.
Oh my God, she's the GOAT. Mm-hmm. She's our number one. We love her. She's on that list. So, anyways,
this may be the shortest episode ever, and you're unmedicated.
I know. I'm trying really hard, and I'm probably forgetting a lot of things to say. So, I'm so sorry, and I didn't write any notes down. So, we hope you all enjoyed this episode. Should we talk more so it's not so short?
No, it's fine. It's the new year. Go enjoy yourself.
Have a New Year's kiss. I also saw if you eat black eyed peas under a table, you fall in love.
I don't know about under the table, but black eyed peas is a southern, maybe specifically southern black thing, but I don't know about the under table. It's a southern black
thing.
I don't know about the under table thing.
Under the table thing? Actually, I saw a white girl doing that.
I think it started last year because I think it was a joke that somebody made, because in like June, I started seeing people post videos saying, so how are those under the table bitches doing?
Oh, well, I saw one who was doing well, apparently.
Well, good for her. It would work one time. If so many people do it, the chances are one person would happen.
And also, all of it is psychosomatic, because if you think you did something, then you're going to follow through on that thing that you think you did, and you're going to think it's the universe playing through you. When in reality, it is just you made a conscious choice, and then you're like, oh, I remember that, and like, let me follow through on the next action steps by like responding to someone's message, texting them back, asking them out on a date. Like, makes you a little braver.
Yeah.
And there's nothing wrong with that. I love a placebo.
We've said that numerous times. We love placebos.
We love a placebo effect. Anyways, have a wonderful new year. Tell us what your resolutions are. And maybe one of your resolutions is to help people. And to that, I say join our Patreon.
Yeah.
Help us. Help us. Help you.
Maybe we'll have new merch dropping in a few weeks.
Oh, yeah. We will see y'all next time.
Nope.
No?
We'll
circle back.
Bye.
Bye.
But Am I Wrong is a production by me, Megan Rinks.
And me, Melisa DeMonts, plus Diamond Imprint Productions.
Post-production by Coco Lorenz.
And production assistance by Melanie D. Watson.
What's up, everyone? It's Noah Daniels.
Hey, y'all. I'm JJ.
Hey, guys. It's Kat.
And we're your hosts of the Real Hauntings podcast, where we bring on guests to share their first-hand encounter ghost stories and supernatural experiences. Now on to the trailer.
I've been warned to not tell this story, but I think because of the way it ends, it's okay to tell this story, because some people say that with certain entities, to like speak of them or talk about them or in any way like portray them as powerful will attract them to other people. The creepiest thing about it to me is a lot of times it would wait for me to notice it. Like, it would just lay its arm out like this, and then I'd be like, where is it? Where is it? And then I'd see it, and then it would just slither back.
For more information on the Real Hauntings, Real Ghost Stories podcast, make sure you check out real.fm to learn more about our podcast and many other amazing podcasts.
Do you love Disney? Do you love top 10 lists?
then you are going to love our hit podcast, Disney Countdown. I'm Megan, the Magical Millennial.
And I'm the Dapper Danielle.
On every episode of our fun and family-friendly show, we count down our top 10 lists of all things Disney. The parks, the movies, the music, the food, the lore. There is nothing we don't cover on our show.
We are famous for rabbit holes, Disney-themed games, and fun facts you didn't know you needed.
I had Danielle and Megan record some answers to seemingly meaningless questions. I asked Danielle what insect song is typically higher pitched in hotter temperatures and lower pitched in cooler temperatures.
You got this.
No, I didn't.
Don't believe that. About a wish coming true? Well, I didn't either. Of course, I'm just a
cicada. I'm crying. I'm so sorry.
You win that one.
So if you're looking for a healthy dose of Disney magic, check out Disney Countdown wherever you get your podcasts.
Contained herein are the heresies of Radolf Buntwine, erstwhile monk turned traveling medical investigator. Join me as I study the secrets of the divine plagues and uncover the blasphemous truth that ours is not a loving God, and we are not its favored children. The heresies of Radolf Buntwine, wherever podcasts are available.
Hey, are you ready for some real talk and some fantastic laughs? Join me, Megan Rinks.
And me, Melissa DeMonts, for Don't Blame Me, But Am I Wrong?
We're serving up 4 hilarious shows every week designed to entertain and engage and, possibly enrage you.
In Don't Blame Me, we dive deep into listeners' questions, offering advice that's funny, relatable, and real.
Whether you're dealing with relationship drama or you just need a friend's perspective, we've got you.
Then switch gears with But Am I Wrong, which is for listeners who didn't take our advice and want to know if they are the villains in the situation.
Plus, we share our hot takes on current events and present situations that we might even be wrong in our lives. Spoiler alert, we are actually quite literally never wrong.
But wait, there's more. Check out See You Next Tuesday, where we reveal the juicy results from our listener polls from But Am I Wrong?
And don't miss Fisting Friday, where we catch up, chat about pop culture, TV, and movies. It's the perfect way to kick off your weekend.
So if you're looking for a podcast that feels like a chat with your besties, listen to Don't Blame Me, But Am I Wrong on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts. New episodes every Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday.